Do you think the body affects the spirit more, or than the mood, or the mood and the spirit, affects the body more?
That's a good question, and I think it may differ for certain people. I think it probably has a lot to do with how you process information, because some people, they need to see something written, something cognitive, in order for it to go through their brain and then permeate into everything else. Other people are very good at feeling. Like they could be in a room with someone and they can feel that that person is having a bad time, or that that person is angry, but they can really feel it very strongly. So I think some people process information differently. And for people who are very in touch with other people's feelings, they need to be aware of that, and they have to schedule time where they're not around a lot of people to sort of recenter themselves.
Mm-hmm. Do you think it's more likely that depression causes physical disease, or that physical disease causes depression, or what do you think?
I think for many people, the depression is manifested by certain physical complaints, because the person isn't able to put that together, except totally, oh wow, I'm depressed. And it happens to all of us. I mean, we all go through phases where we have some depression or sadness, and you have to acknowledge it and do something about it before it really starts to affect your whole body, and before you really do become ill.
Mm-hmm. Do you sense that you're playing a parental role with many of your patients?
I think that there is probably a parental aspect to some of what we do, yes. But I really try to work in that team approach model. Because if you stay totally in the parent model, then that means that the patient can bring to you anything when they haven't done the work. So they need to do that homework. They need to be on that diet or exercising or taking that medication so that you can evaluate them and see if they're improving. If you're strictly in the parent-child mode, that's not totally healthy for a therapeutic relationship.
Mm-hmm. Have you had much experience with what I think is called psychosomatic illness, where someone comes to you, because you're a doctor, and they're complaining about various things, but what's going on is not really, in your estimation, a physical disease?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And how
There
do you
is,
relate to that?
yes, there is going to be some of that, certainly in someone who comes for acupuncture, because that person may have been to a variety of physicians, had many tests performed, and yet they still have a distinct complaint. So sometimes that is what you might consider psychosomatic. In the acupuncture world, we would consider that an imbalance in their chi, in their energy. So we try to find out what area is not working well and try to correct that. And it may be from a great variety of things. They may have back pain or neck pain, and now they have headaches. They have headaches that are awful. They don't respond to medication, blah, blah, blah. So, yes, so we see quite a bit of that.
I'll just be personal to allow to introduce the question. I've struggled with chronic fatigue for 20 years,
Mm-hmm.
and the most common response I get when people are being honest is, "You sure it's not all in your head?"
Mm-hmm.
And so I got to the point where I would tell people, if they were friends, there's nothing good out of you using that response to somebody.
Right.
So let's say it is all in their head.
Mm-hmm.
It's not going to come out because you then ask them, "I'm sure it's not
Right.
all in your head."
Exactly.
There's no good result that can come out of that question. So I guess that's my personal first-hand experience
Mm-hmm.
with it. So